Now, you might remember at the start of the month, we set ourselves a challenge for September to try to get through some of our Shelf of Shame. We both picked 5 games from the shelves, and we said by the end of September we were going to finish those. The problem is, we haven't actually played any so far, and we have a week off in front of us, so we thought now is the opportunity to make a big dent on those Shelf of Shame games. But we're not going to do it alone. We are on our way to Wales now, the land of dragons. And we're going to meet up with Phil and Lisa from the YouTube channel Fun with Boxes, and they're going to help us make our way through some of the games selected. Now for this, we are calling it Draigcon. Draigcon, of course, comes from the Welsh for dragon, which is Dre. And if you ever look at a Welsh flag, you will see there's a dragon upon it. So I'm pretty sure as we drive into Wales, we look on a map and it will say, here be dragons.
We're here and Draigcon is beginning. We arrived late last night and we managed to get in 2 little games, Sea Salt and Paper, and brand new coming out at Essen, Dragon Keepers, my secret version to have a new try. And now, this morning, we have all of these shelves to scour through and have a look and see what's going to get played. I think in the table, ready for us to play is a Macrony, so we're going to start this mini con, vacation con, with a bang.
What we should have done when we set a challenge to play 10 board games in a week, we just picked 10 button char games. We could have knocked it out really quickly, but
Really quick.
But we have started.
We
started with the big one.
We played the big box Anachrony, and it was amazing. I think you're going to see that at the end of the year on our top games probably, and I think that we're going to be itching to get it back to the table on our edition when we get back home.
Yeah, I was hesitant because we played so many kind of worker placement. It is a style of game I do like, but I love the time traveling mechanic and how you pick up stuff in the future that you don't have to return or you're going to cause a paradox. I thought that was really clever.
Yeah. And I knew it was going to be that Euro-y, and I could feel you kind of during the teach thinking, oh gosh, this is going to be a bit much. But then once you it's very quick to pick up the symbols and what different bits are doing. So I think it's quite easy to kind of piece together the puzzle of how best to make your little machine, your engine start working for you. So yeah, it was really, really fun play.
But so that was top on your list, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, I think so. That and Vindication. So we'll see how we do.
And now we're playing what's top of my list. We're going to play Expeditions. So, yeah, getting through them slowly. Good morning, and it's day 2 of Draigcon here. So last night we were up quite late. After finishing our fantastic game of Expeditions, which went on for quite a long time with 4 players, ate some food, and then we sat down at a table for another game. We played Among Cultists, a game that's recently come to Kickstarter backers and is going to be, I think, launched at Essen. And that's a kind of social deduction game inspired by the game Among Us. And we all suspected different people, but by the end, my suspicions proved to be correct. But by then, it was too late. We were all dead, and the cultist had murdered us all. Lots of fun, and as you get immersed in that game, the banter builds up and it gets a lot more excited. And after that, we went to bed. But this morning, we are setting up a game of Yado, which coincidentally is Libby's favourite game. However, it wasn't on our Shelf of Shame list. So I don't quite know why that's been prioritised, but we are going to play Yado. The people we're staying with haven't played it before, so Libby is elated to teach it to new people, and so they can see the mastery of that fantastic game.
So we got to play Yado, my favourite game. The people that we're staying with here have the master set, but they haven't played it yet. So we're super excited for us to do the teach and get it to the table. And we had a great time. We were reading all the cards, knowing about the theft and the espionage and all the bad things that were happening in the Japanese city as we were trying to be the best clan to it. And unfortunately, I mean, let's just say I was a great teacher in that I let other people win. And came up last because I couldn't get my people where I needed them to be to get the great mission, one of the black missions, which is super great in this thing. But it was still super fun to play, loved every moment of it, and really good to introduce people to my favourite. We also have just finished a game of Revive, which is one that's been on our Shelf of Shame. We did mention it in our September Shelf of Shame video. So if you haven't seen that, do have a little check out and see what we were trying to play during this week. It's one that I picked up at Essen last year. So I was really, really keen to get it played before I go to Essen again. And we did do that. And it is amazing. So I think that perhaps that expansion might need to get picked up. I managed to win that one, even though it was first game, and I managed to win Anachrony. So I feel like I am the queen of the Euro games this Draigcon.
We've had some food, which is bringing a close to Draigcon. This is going to be our last evening, and we had bought other games. We were toying with the idea of playing Distilled, but the hours are already wearing on. We've seemed to have a whole day. We've played two games.
We were very ambitious. I think we've brought big games, thinking that we can get through loads of them, and then forget that sometimes you get a little distracted chatting.
Well, we're used to playing games, kind of the two of us, and we kind of factor into how long games are going to take based on that, forgetting, of course, that if you have two more players, suddenly that duration doubles. So yeah, we have
and the teachers for every single game.
Yeah.
At least we've had to do a teach, or they've been doing a teach for us. And at no point have we done a game which all of us at the table already knew the game. No. So that is going to add time to all of this playing. So I think we've done quite well, if we're honest. But
so yeah, we're going to focus now on shorter, more silly games. We did play some silly games actually yesterday. We played Poetry for Neanderthals.
They're not safe for work.
The naughty one. So we played that. So we're going to play some of those lighter games now, including a bit of a bargain. So
are we?
We are. I saw in a shop a game that is £1.50. Now, can a £1.50 game be any good? Probably not. There's probably a reason it's £1.50, and there's probably a reason it's like 3.8 on BGG. So that's not a good sign. But, maybe 10 minutes.
I'm going to maybe convince you that we don't need to play that one, but we'll see how it goes.
Can't go wrong with a £1.50 game.
We're definitely, I think, going to play Viking Seesaw, and that one I'm excited for. It sounds a little bit like Buffet Boss that we played recently.
Yeah, and My Goldmine will no doubt make an appearance because that game is hilarious.
And this is Lorcana. We haven't played Lorcana yet, so that's definitely going to hit the table. Fingers crossed soon.
So tonight we learnt a valuable lesson. £1.50 board game. Is that good value? No, it's not good value when the components are missing and you can't actually play the game. But even if we had sat down and played it, any rules that start with roll a dice, the first person to roll a 6 gets to go first, is not a game we want to spend our evening playing. We can do better than this.
Specific. I think I said it once.
Aurora Borealis. Oh my god! Ah! So it's the last morning of Draigcon, as we like to call it, and already we've played a game this morning, even though we've been mainly packing, ready to go. We played My Goldmine, which was fun to introduce to yet another player, and much was had. I entered with 1 gold.
No,
I'm not the best dwarf, it turns out. But last night we finished off with lots of fun games as well. It was a great one.
Yeah, a bit tired this morning because we were playing games till the wee small hours. Playing bizarre games I'd never heard of called Viking Seesaw was one of them. And these came in the bulk buy on a Kickstarter campaign. So these are Japanese games, but this was made by Rainer Knizia. So you can imagine the depth of gameplay that went on in Viking Seesaw. And also...
It did remind me a little bit of Buffet Boss, which we just played quite recently.
Yeah.
But a little bit more to it because each piece has different weights, so that was fun.
It was very, very scientific and exacting. We also played probably the greatest party game I've ever played with the greatest board game component ever. 3-second try.
Yeah, which turns out I'm brilliant at.
You won both.
Yeah, won both games.
Brains and body. Yeah. Both.
It doesn't matter what challenge you give me.
Do them all.
Yeah,
and this is a range of silly challenges that you have to complete. You bid for how many things you can do in 3 seconds, and then you need to kind of measure up to your expectations. But that's the end of Draigcon, so we're going to get back in the car. We're driving home from Wales, and then we better pick up the pace on playing some of the other, probably shorter games that were on our list of 10 games to play in September. To try and tick off some of the list because we've done the heavier ones now.
Yeah.
But I think there's scope for some.
Yeah, I think we did quite well at playing new games in this. Yeah, and then I'll get ready and pack for Essen. Exciting.
We are back home now, back to familiar background, back to familiar settings, and we played some of the heavier games when we were away in Wales at Draigcon. So now I think we can step it back a bit. We've got the time to. So we're going to play some of the simpler ones. I'm going to set up Psychics and Portal on the table, both of which are on my list. And I think we can probably bolt those out in sort of an hour and a half, 2 hours for both of them. So I'll take 2 more games off the September Shelf of Shame list.
So we've just played Disney Sidekicks and Portal, both of which were on Julian's list. So now I think it's time for me to pick something. And I did have Bamboo on my list, but I mean, I feel like I can just trade that out for another De Vere game that we haven't played, right? And look at this little bad boy right here, the White Castle. Super excited to play this one. So I think I'm just gonna sneak this off the shelf and trade it in for Bamboo.
So that's it. It's the end of September.
It is.
How did we get on with our challenge?
I mean, there was a couple of little cheats and trade-ins along the way, but I don't think we did too bad.
No, I think we did okay. So it was 6 out of the 10.
Yeah.
60%.
Yeah. 60%'s okay,
That's not bad.
right? I mean, there's a couple of big ones still to play, like Vindication, Outlive. I mean, I think we were a little bit over ambitious when we had that number of big games to play. We probably were never going to have gotten all of them in, given that we didn't already know all of the rules. So.
No, and I think that was some of the problem, because we obviously didn't factor into this. We didn't know a lot of these games. They were all new to us, so there's obviously a learning element of it.
Yeah, and we were very lucky. Our friends Phil and Lisa do subscribe to Fun with Boxes.
Yes.
Had us stay with them, and they did teach us quite a few of the games. We also taught them some games that they wanted to play, so they weren't games from our list. But you will find out more about all of those games when we do our monthly roundup.
Yeah, we'll talk obviously more about all the games we played in that video in a lot more detail.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if we would have achieved as much without Phil and Lisa.
Absolutely not. No, definitely we wouldn't have. So it was really good to get away for a few days and just literally gameplay.
Well, we read
morning
at the time.
to night.
We spent more time playing board games than we did actually sleeping.
100%.
So it's pretty much we wake up, play a game, have some food, play another game, and these are heavy.
Quickly run the dog out.
quick dog
while
walk.
someone sets out the next game.
And yeah, we could have done it. Easily done 10 smaller games. If it was me picking, 10 of my, very light games, and we have played obviously more than 10 new to us games. They just weren't the 10 we picked at the start. So,
no. But from that list, I think getting 6 of them knocked off was was actually really good.
Yeah, and I think it was a good thing to do, because we are in a habit of getting games either sent to us or that we buy, and just not getting time to play them. So setting a week aside, or a month as intended to be, to just devote to playing the games was a good experiment, and we did get a lot played that we probably wouldn't have done if we hadn't set ourselves this kind of challenge.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe we should make an effort every few months to sort of dedicate, even if it's just a day, where it's like one full gameplay day, or when we can do weekends or little trips, we'll take advantage of those. But yeah. But
obviously, if you've enjoyed this video, do subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Watch back the early video and our pep and enthusiasm of, yeah, we can play all these games. That'd be easy. We could do that in a day. Yeah, so do watch back on that video. And again, thank you so much to Phil and Lisa. Do subscribe to their channel if you haven't already. Fun with Boxes is brilliant and hilarious, and we really like it.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to, you might even see some references to us on there perhaps, as the videos come out. If you're looking to buy any of these games, of course, go to your friendly local game store. And for us in the southeast of England, that is of course Chaos Cards.
It is indeed. And we do have a discount code with them, so if you're not in the southeast or you just prefer to shop online, then have a look in the description and you can use that discount code to get some little pennies off at the checkout.
As always, thanks so much for watching.
Bye.